Hello, it's Jimmy here, the righties. We have here to look at today a Peugeot Boxer. So this is a 2024. It's basically a year and a half old. It's got 17,000 miles on it. Emissions light is flashing, engine light's on. We're going to set up the X431 Euro scan tool. This is from Launch UK. What have I pressed there? No, we don't want that. Don't want that, we don't want that, we don't want that. Okay, we're going to run a scan, see what is the cause of this engine light on. Now, you might be asking yourself, why have I got a car that's a year and a half old and 17,000 miles in her? I mean, we see pretty often cars with less than 20,000 miles, but in this case, the vehicle is under warranty. Why is it here? His local Peugeot dealer has a backlog of 3 months, is what they're saying to him. It was over 2 months anyway, he said, something like that. He's got to wait until March or something to be able to get it even booked in so they can look at it. It's got a countdown on the mileage of a few hundred miles or so left before the van won't restart, so that's not an option to him, so he needs it fixed as soon as possible. Again, let's talk about that. Mileage countdowns on the AdBlue system false. It's like they hold you hostage until you bring the van back to them to get it fixed. If you don't get it fixed, you can't drive your van. Now, where is the countdown? I can't see it at the minute, but the customer is telling me it comes up and he's got a certain amount of mileage left before he can drive it. For starters, is I can see that we've got a correct reading on the exterior temperature sensor. A good question is, what I've thought about recently is, the legalities, are they allowed to do that? Say you've got 500 miles left until you have to get your vehicle fixed. I suppose they can, because if the vehicle isn't running right, your emission system isn't running right, so it's not road legal. But kind of holding you hostage, making you can't drive your van and you have to go and get it fixed, otherwise it will just stop working. Not because there's something mechanically wrong with it, just a sensor that's not working. If the sensor wasn't there, the vehicle would run and work exactly how it should, but that's how it is. Right, we've got a code. What have we got there? Incorrect immobilizer. Right. P2047, control of the urea injector. Permanent. All of these codes. Control of the urea reservoir heating. Pressure of the urea solution too low. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'll save the report for that. Okay, so with all of these fault codes that are logged up, even if you've got all of these parts brand new replaced, none of them are going to work because they've got permanent fault codes logged in the system for it. I've got a feeling this could have just been triggered off for absolutely no reason whatsoever, so let's find out. What I'm going to do is a reset of everything. We'll do reinitialization of the diagnostic system, and we'll clear the fault codes, and then we'll look at the live data to see what is actually working and what's not. Right, first we'll try and clear the codes. We need to read them first. We've already read them, but we need to read them to be able to clear them. Now, all of these aren't going to clear. Alright, so that points to me straight away, if all of the rest of them have cleared and this one is staying, we've got a circuit issue definitely with that injector, which is maybe a broken wire or a faulty injector, or of course rodents have been in and they've been chewing on something. So let's get underneath and have a look. Here comes Martin with my ramps. Oh shit, yeah, we found the problem. Holy shit, there's about 12 inches of the wiring loom missing. Look at that. It's foxes, isn't it, or rats? I don't know, foxes. I'd say foxes, I don't know, it could be foxes, rats, any sort of rodent.
That's soya wire, isn't it?
Yeah, they keep using this
soya.
Environmentally friendly rubber coating that is made from soya or something.
Soya.
And obviously animals see that as food and try to eat it. Okay, so just looking through my cables, got some red cable, I can join that up with this. I don't have any black cable, but this identifies as black. Okay, so we've got the soldering iron, that's green, that's ready to go. So we're going to get some new wires joined up to here, and then we'll get it joined into the van. Okay, so just in the middle of doing some soldering here, and then I realised I had these, so I'll use them. Heat shrink solder with solder in the middle. Right, let's test these out. I can't find the attachment. I do have a little wraparound attachment for this, but I can't find it at the minute. But let's just give it a go. I've not used one of these before. I've not used one of these soldering or heat shrinks, whatever you call them. You can actually see the solder melting. Just close up this end. So that's the name actually, they're solder seal wire connectors. Okay, so we've got a new section there put in. Just got it wrapped in some of this tubing, whatever you call it, conduit, and we're going to get it now fitted to the van. So it'll be the same process, we're just going to get it all joined up like that, and we'll get back once that's done. That's it, it's all in place. I don't think anyone would notice, it looks all genuine. Okay, back in the van now. Notice on this one, it's a newer model. It's got an AdBlue level gauge. Right, now the loom has been fixed. Let's try that again. Clear fault. Great. Okay, let's start it up. We might have to do some sort of Denox initializations. Not sure yet. Let's just give it a minute, see what pops up. Well, I might be surprised. It doesn't look like we have to do any initializations of the system. But let's go to live data now, and we will try and find the pressure of the AdBlue tank, because it was saying it was faulty as well. Where are we? Okay, here we found that, which is in the Denox system 1. Right, we have 0 bar pressure. They might have fixed that annoying sort of issue. The first time I seen one of these, I looked at a tank, it said the pressure was too low in the tank. Came onto live data, it said we had 4 bar of pressure. So I thought, we've got 4 bar pressure, that's not low. But on the older models of these, it would say 4 bar pressure even without the tank connected. So it was there was like a software issue there, which would confuse you if you didn't know. But you need to have over 5 bar pressure, between 5 and 6 bar pressure on that. Now, to get that working, we need to get the vehicle up to temperature, which we can't see because now the temperature gauge is missing, because we now have an AdBlue tank instead. AdBlue tank level gauge. Okay, we're going to take the vehicle on a little bit of a run around just to see if we can get the tank to come alive. You see here it says we're on standby, so that should go into like pressurizing phase. I'll answer a question on that actually while I'm here. I get asked a lot in the comment section, and I get asked a lot on WhatsApp, emails. My AdBlue isn't working, or my AdBlue's been turned off. AdBlue delete. Will the MOT center, is that going to fail the MOT? Your AdBlue, as you can see here, doesn't show up. It doesn't work when the vehicle is started on your stationary. You have to move the vehicle, drive it for sort of 15 minutes before the AdBlue comes on. So, will your MOT know if your AdBlue system's not working? No, unless you've got a light on the dash that it's saying it's not working. Okay, so pressurization phase has started, but we haven't got any pressure yet. So we're going to continue to drive the van, see if it triggers off a fault, or will the pressure start to come up. Okay, so around about 10 miles test drive, we haven't got any fault codes left, but the tank isn't pressurizing just yet. What I might have to do is do the initialization of the emission system and then try that again. Right, I'll take you through the process just in case some people want to know how you do it. Here, reinitialization of the Denox faults. Now switch the ignition off and wait. 6 minutes. Okay, I've just driven the vehicle for like another half an hour. The AdBlue tank isn't coming on, there's no pressure on it. But it's like the vehicle isn't requesting it to do that. I mean, it's saying we've got pressurization phase on there, but Usually, if the pressurization phase doesn't work after 10 minutes, it gives up, and then you get a fault code. But we're not getting any fault codes, but we've got zero pressure in the tank. This is a 2024, so it's newer than most of the ones I usually see with AdBlue tank errors. So it could have slightly different software. We can already see it's got slightly different software because the tank reads 0. Usually on a 2016, 2017 version of these, 2018, 2019, if you look at the tank pressure, it always reads 4 bar, even with the engine off, even with the tank off. So this one has got slightly different software, and we can see it's got an AdBlue tank gauge on the dash. So this might have slightly different software issues or software that tells it when the tank needs to come on. I'm not exactly sure at the minute, so what I'm going to request the customer to do is, he's come from 30 miles away, so it's not too far, like some of the customers that come from 8 hours drive away. So I'm going to request he drives it around for the day. If no fault comes on, of course, maybe ignore it. If a fault comes back, we need to bring it back to me, see what fault code is now given. Does it need a new tank? Possibly. I don't just want to chuck a tank on it just because we've not got any pressure coming on, because we haven't got a fault code to register that the tank hasn't, that the tank is given a fault to say that the pressure isn't good enough. Maybe it's just going to take a longer drive. Maybe just that. We'll have to wait and see. So if we come back out of the live data there, we haven't got any fault codes on the engine. So, I mean, we haven't got any fault codes there. I haven't even cleared that one yet, which was the immobilizer fault. I'm going to clear the BSI fault. Right, so that's it for now with this Peugeot Boxer. See you in the next video.